coming to you live from the South African State Theatre. Welcome to another episode of Breathe, Art, Lead.
Welcome to another amazing episode of Breathe, Art, Live. Today, we are sitting with the curator, the writer and director of Pelegi, Tshego, MABELE.
I'm excited.
Right?
Yeah. Okay, so Tshego, right? Since we know you and we've been chilling with you, for people who are seeing you for the first time,
okay. So, Nagina Tshego MABELE, originally from Soweto, moved to the East End, and now staying in the Val. Everywhere, man. She's South African. I'm originally from Gauteng. Let me just put it that way. Originally from Gauteng, Joburg, and yeah, now I'm based in Pretoria.
Oh, okay, that's amazing. All right, so how did you get into theater? Why this crazy job?
Why this world?
Yeah.
Well, so when I was young, I used to go to the community art center, right? So there was one called Bafunyeni, and I went there once, and my mom was like, you know, mother, hey, and I was like, no, but they have art, and I want to sing, and I want to dance. And then she was like, okay, you can go. And then as soon as I got there was gumboots, there was singing, there was drama, and then I was like, oh man, I like the space. So luckily they were like, okay, so besides us just, you know, playing around with art, let's go perform outside. So we would go and perform and then come back and have like little showcase. And then like luckily the school I was in had drama. So I was like, I think I should take drama as, you know, my 7th subject.
So you've been exposed to it from a very young age.
That's
like that.
So would you say that you growing up in different parts of Gauteng inspired the artist or rather the theatre practitioner that you are?
I believe so, because I'm so outspoken. I think, you know, I talk, like I talk to strangers. Even when I'm waiting for a taxi, I will talk to the person behind me. How are you? So who's your mother? You know, like I know, literally. I would want to know, like, what's your story? So the little things that I get from people, I'm like, oh, okay, that's the story. I should write about this. So just that interaction with people, I believe, is what inspired me to do what I'm doing now.
Okay, that's beautiful, girl. I'm like, okay, so now I want to talk about Pelegi, right?
Oh, baby.
Okay, this girl wrote an amazing. Actually, let her tell you about it.
Yes.
So please tell us about this masterpiece that is Pelegi.
And what inspired it?
Okay, so Pelegi is a multilingual Afrocentric play that speaks about African spirituality, particularly in the 1960s when the Witchcraft Suppression Act was put in place, which basically incarcerated people, prosecuted them for practicing their ancestral beliefs or any sort of African spirituality. It was seen as witchcraft. So when I found out about that law, I was like, light bulb moment. An aha moment. I was like, nah, man, there's a story there. So the nice thing is that I have such a good relationship with my mom. So I'd ask her things like, especially like, so like, what does this cloth mean? What does these, you know, thingies mean? What does these beads? And she'll tell me it means this, it means that. And I'm like, oh, so I wonder how the people then used to live if these things were illegal to even have them on, you know. So that's where the masterpiece started, and I actually wrote it in 2019.
Really?
To think that it's being put up on stage in 2022.
So why, why wasn't it launching in 2019? Like what?
I started in 2019. That story was so complicated because it took me a whole year. Yeah, because I had to do my research. I had to figure out, like, I didn't want to make it fictional. I didn't want to make it unreal as well. So I wanted it to be as accurate as possible. So I needed to, luckily, man, I was working for this company where I had to do research for them. So I had to find old women who are traditional healers who lived in those times.
Which companies? Okay, no, don't say
Yeah, so I got the opportunity to find this lady in Hammanskraal. I think she's 90 now. Yeah, she's in a coma. Gosh, but I found her at the right time because she was still alive. Well, she is still alive. But I asked her like, how were the times then when you were practicing? Was it difficult? Did you have to hide? And then she would tell me that it was so strange because she couldn't practice in her own homeland. She literally had to go to another place to practice there because then people don't know her. So where she is known by neighbors and whatnot, they would want to rat her out as opposed to strangers on the other side. Exactly. And people also made money from that. And also they used it as revenge, as a form of revenge. If I didn't like you succeeding, I'd be like, oh, okay, I'd go to the police. This one here is practicing in. I found a chicken running and it was slaughtered. And that's the thing about the apartheid government. It did not care about
it didn't even
evidence.
Research, find facts.
Exactly. If there's not a witness
and can get in jail.
Exactly, they'll put you there.
And I want to know about the experience at the Naka you went to. What happened? Like, what did he tell you? What was it? What did you say?
You want to know my business? No, get lost because like I don't know who else is watching, but yeah. So basically, you get there. You don't come in with your shoes. You have to put your shoes outside because it's a sacred space. So you get in there, you sit down, and then I saw that she lit candles, and then she lit impepo, and then we had to smell it, and then she made us blow inside her squama. Yes. So and then with that, she got in a trance. You see, so for me, I was like, yo, I'm noting everything. Like when my ngaka comes in the theater, she must do that. So
did she allow you to take notes? Like
no, it was visual notes. She didn't even know I was taking notes. Literally, I just went there to find out my business. I just wanted my business. But then it happened that in there, I was like, oh man, actually, if this is how they do it, this is how I should portray it, so that I don't misinform people or I offend anybody. Yeah, well, so yeah, then she threw the box and she's like, so here you guys have
Did you see your money?
Hey, I can tell about that. People below, so yeah, no, but she did tell me like good things and bad things. And then she gave me some things to use. So but with me, we don't use umuti. So would you rather use diwashu? Right, which is like salts. Yes. So when I came to my mom and I was like, oh, she gave me this, my mom was like, yeah, girl. Like, you know, here, like we have our own ways of following things. You can't come with something new unless you marry elsewhere and they do that, then you can follow their customs. But here, that's not what we do. So I had to respect that and put them aside and do what I normally do, which I believe saved my life.
Alright, so going back to Pelegi, I noted that the medium that is used there is Setswana instead of English, and we have like very few scenes where we hear our characters or other cast speaking in English. Please do elaborate as to why this time English was not used as a medium.
Well, because I every time I went to a theater or I watched a theater show, particularly like at UP or maybe I would go to Joburg Theater, there was a lot of shows in English. And I understand English is a unifying language because now if I can speak Tsonga, the least I could do is, you know, try a way to meet you halfway. But then when I got to other theaters like the State Theater, the Market Theater, I'm like, I hardly see Setswana plays. I'd see Zulu plays. You know, I'm like, there's so many Zulu plays, and I'm like, Setswana khona next. You know, I maybe they are. I'm not saying they are not. They probably are. I just was not there when they made them. So I was like, no man, I want Pelegi to be in Setswana, and plus I'm Tswana myself. So it's more like a thank you to my great grandparents to be like, guys, I will not push you aside by putting a foreign language in something that speaks about you. You know, yeah. So the least I could do is honor you guys by using the language you spoke.
So when you wrote it, or did you write it in English and then your cast came in Botswana?
Girl.
Like how did you workshop? Because I feel like there's a lot of workshopping.
Yeah, I'm so great. I love workshop. I love workshopping a play because it also made me see that a script is a skeleton. When the actors come and they read the script and they start analyzing it, they start putting meat to it and it becomes real, right? So when I wrote it, because when I'm model C, you know, and then we twang and I think in English and dream in English, you know, it was a problem. So when I wrote, I would ask my mom. She was the person of, okay, mama, so what does this thing mean?
No, we need to meet your mom.
Yeah, no, she's coming this Sunday, yeah. She's the coach.
She's the coach in the midpool.
Why not? Exactly. So I'd ask her, Mama, man, I want to say this, like, I want to put it in Setswana, and funny enough, I put it in the Setswana that I know, which is very diluted because I'm from the township. You see?
No, and the show is so poetic. That's the thing. Like, I was sitting with a friend of mine and he was talking about how even there's poetry in the language.
Yes.
Like the moment you see that moment where the child is described, he was like, this is pure poetry. I've never seen anything like this. So please, thank you for writing it in Australia.
Yeah.
You know,
and I think it also does justice to not the text alone, but the people represented.
Yes.
Putting it in English, it's like, it was just going to be like another English play. It's like no offense, but it's like I'm a white person putting a black play on stage, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted it to be as authentic as possible. I'm so glad it came out poetic because I'm not even a poet to begin with. Yeah, but to answer that question, my cast actually, but in them analyzing it, because I made sure that in the audition process, I wanted Setswana speaking people because I knew that once they read it in English or in my Sipitori Setswana, they will understand, oh no, since I'm from Mafikeng, this is how we say. You see, so in that workshopping, it helped bring much more juice. I love those.
It's just scared.
Like I have a good cast.
I think my follow-up question would be, why this specific genre of a play? I mean, it's like spiritual plays aren't something that we're really exposed to, and we have other genres like romantic, comedy, etc. etc. What was the motivating factor, or rather, if there is an inspiration behind you deciding to choose horror? Instead of romantic or sad plays, I want to focus on African spirituality.
Okay, for me it's personal. So I'm also on a quest of figuring out where I stand in African spirituality. And in that, it came because I grew up in a very Christian home. So in that Christian home, my mom would go, so I'd go to church. Yet she will wear cloths and put on things. And I'm like, this woman, no? So now when I was in church, they're like, hey, these things are witchcraft. You shouldn't go to the graveyard because those people are dead. There's no one there. They'd say that, right? And they'll tell us, and also don't slaughter anything because Jesus is the only lamb. He's the sacrificial lamb. And I have no offense. I have no problem with Jesus at all. However, my mom would slaughter. So when I go back home after church, I'd be like, this woman is a witch. Literally, I think this girl is a witch. So as soon as I decided to distance myself from church just to get a broader perspective of what's happening in my life, because I felt like I was living a double life, right? So as soon as I moved away from church and I started investigating and finding out, why does my mom wear these clothes? Why do I have to wear these things? Why must I wear beads? Why must my sister wear these things? What do they mean for us as opposed to themselves, right? So that's where I was like, oh, okay, there's something there. And then when I got to UP, I was studying drama, right? So when I got there, the curriculum was very Eurocentric.
I know.
And like I felt like I was not being accommodated, and if we were given an assignment, trust you me, I'd put it in the most African way possible. If we had a dance assignment, even though I don't know how to kita, I'm not trying to find you understand? Yes, because I can't jete and do all the ballerina thing. I can't. Yeah. mean, you know, so the least I could do is find something that works for me. So I would go to Spantola, I'd go to gumboots, I would go to, you know, like ritualistic things. So luckily I found friends that we all shared a common love for African spirituality. And then I watched this play called Kiu by Mdudu Zinkabo, and my God, it was like I went to church for the very first time. That's when theater literally became my church, because I saw that that's the place where truth is spoken, and it's literally a mirror to society that, hey, see yourself, this is where we are, or this is what you're doing. So I was like, okay, I love African spirituality, and when I write my own thing or when I stage my own thing, I want to make sure that I really do justice for it, and so that people that come and they are scared of African spirituality, they can enjoy the colors at least, they can enjoy the music, you know. But I have a text how Jesus is Lord, but at least they liked certain things there, you know.
What I wanted to talk about, and I saw it in your play, where the Ngaka actually prayed.
Yeah.
He called on to God and he's as much as we are ancestral and, you know, and stuff like that, we're also very much connected. You know, I feel like for us, like the religion part or the Christianity and, you know, everything that came with it is what kind of created the tension. But then we've always been Batavamudi.
And then I made sure I emphasized that, because I wanted us to move away from the idea that being Naga means you are worshipping ancestors. We don't worship ancestors. You are peace. You are peace. And I think the nice thing about the place is that it educates you. These people are from God. They speak to God, and ancestors are the messengers. Ancestors are the guides, the angels, the interceders, intercessors. Yeah, but I'm really glad that as much as it is entertaining, it is very educational as well, and that was the aim.
No, it is. It's everything and more. Actually, they get very disappointed. I'm like, oh, part two.
No, I know. And funny enough, I actually I hope whoever's watching won't steal my idea, but I want to create a culture of theater series. We always have like a one show here and then it goes elsewhere, but I don't want to listen. I want people to come watch a theater show like they watch Generation. You know?
No, I'll come.
Because I mean, you pay for DSTV, but once you can pay for theater.
I'm definitely the series.
Yeah, that would be lovely.
So, what would be your favorite scene out of the whole play?
I was thinking about that this weekend. Guys, Mpati's scene. Oh, I love that man. Mpati, the villain, the guy that crucifies everyone and kills them. He's so dramatic. Like, he's intense. He's so within, and he's so so in love. I've never fallen in love with a character like that.
I know, but he's got balls. I wouldn't lie.
And then he subtly shows his sensitivity towards his woman, but then he still remains harsh. He's the perfect Zulu man. I've got a thing for Zulu men. So, like, he literally just epitomizes my idea or ideal Zulu love.
Oh, 7 months.
Hey!
I'm curious about you, like, who's your favorite character?
Yeah.
My favorite character.
Drama this one.
Who's your favorite character?
This is bad. Why am I thinking about it?
You don't have one. I don't blame you. I don't judge you.
I'm crushing on the band. Over the band.
Oh yes, the band. Oh, the drama.
Yeah, I think I'm more in love with the band than the actual cast. But okay, let me be honest. My favorite cast or other character would be Mampalati. The way she's so the wife. The way she's like she portrays the element of unbothered so perfectly. Like imagine exactly the face the rest. Now Now imagine a woman coming to you begging for her husband's life, and you look at them and then you
look away.
Like
I think for me she's my favorite because she embodies the character so well that you hate her.
Yeah. Her name, can we give her? Her name is Zazakala, guys.
Yeah. Like,
no, and she's so multifaceted. Like, she's the dancer.
She
the
dances.
the dancer.
Like that girl, she kills it. She even as a party, like the way she conducts herself.
She's so poised.
She's very poised.
Who's Mr. Mpati? What's his name?
Oh, his name is Tulani. I'm sure you all know him. He's so cute.
Who was your favorite?
But yeah, who was your favorite?
Ooh, the baby Dikele. There's a scene where she's in a trance, that child, and for a moment she literally gets out of her body. Like that's literally how it looks like. She looks like she's not even that child.
Yeah.
I was so mind blown to her. I even forgot my camera. I was so emotional. No way that was. And she's so tiny, but then she makes the character look
Her
large.
body's so big, man.
Oh, thank. What do you know?
Yeah. The rehearsal process was so intense. I don't know how many times we all fought because like I kept telling, especially with her, and what I love about Bitumelo, her name is Bitumelo, is that she takes the note. If I say to me, you know, today I feel unique, but she didn't give me everything. She would go back and do work and come back and come and say, let me show you what I worked on. And I'm like, this girl.
I'm a fan. I won't lie, like I'm a fan for life. Okay guys, so we're about to play 60 seconds with Tshego. Take it away, baby.
Alright, what's your favorite thing about your city?
It's got beautiful language.
Who's your favorite fashion icon?
Mashuto.
Chicken or McKinney?
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Get Big Mac. This is all Big Mac right here.
What's your favorite thing to cook?
Meat.
Which icon are you dying to meet?
Yo. International local.
Viola Davis. You know what?
Guys, I get the Beyonce. I know. Die for me, Beyonce. Like, yeah.
What's the best relationship advice you've ever received?
You can heal with another person. If your heart is broken, heal in the next relationship.
What does being feminist mean to you?
Being a feminist means equality and absolute empowerment.
What's your favorite dance song?
Skapora Mureki. And
Okay guys, so this concludes this episode. Alright, so if people want to connect with you, talk to you, where do they find you?
Okay, I was about to say Gmail. I'm sorry.
That's also fine.
Yeah, actually, if you want to work with me, like email me on tmabele27@gmail.com. But you can find me on Instagram at that girl Tshego and Facebook Tshego Mabele. Twitter, I'm not so active, so rather email me.
Guys, thank you for watching this amazing episode of Breathe, Art, Live. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on this channel. And don't forget to follow our Instagram page. Guys, tell your friends to tell their friends
Come on.
to tell their friends.
I mean,
Bana Sisfi.